If you don't have time to watch this whole video, the quick answer is buy whiskey. So I've said in other videos that I think everybody should own some precious metals or at least some other asset that they can barter with in the event that the monetary system goes bad. Hopefully this is just an insurance policy, something you never have to rely on. But I think it's prudent that everybody has something in their drawer, in their loft, in a safe that they can call upon should they need to. Now, many people have said, hey, look, Jason, it's all right, well, saying that, but if you've got a normal job, you've got family to support, who can go out, buy a Krugerrand, buy gold sovereigns each month? Now, yes, I understand that. I'm in almost exactly the same position. So let's look at some of the different options. Obviously, we have the traditional gold sovereign if you're in the UK. This is one of the most tried and tested way of investing in gold bullion. These things are about £300 a coin, so I understand, for the average person to go out and find £300 is quite a lot of money. We have the other alternatives like a full gold Krugerrand, which is a troy ounce, and you have the small Krugerrands. You're talking between 1,300 and even 145 for the small Krugerrands. This is quite a lot, I think, for the average person, and also these coins are quite big, so they're not necessarily going to be that tradable in the collapse if you need to just buy like a week's shopping and the money's gone bad. So I often favour the 1 gram gold bars because these things are about £45–50. That's about the same as a small week's shopping in the UK. Yes, you're not going to be living the luxury life, but you could feed yourself and your family for £50 a week. So if the money goes bad, it's about equivalent to what we see today. So it's possible you could go to a small grocers, small supermarkets or independently owned. I can't see Tesco aren't really going to take gold, but if the collapse comes, you could go to your local corner store and probably barter with gold, especially many corner stores in the UK that are owned by like Indian people, Arab people, Iranians. These people from these cultures understand the value of gold. In the West, your average English person, to be fair, is quite ignorant to the value of gold. It's because we've never really had a big financial collapse in the UK. But you find an Iranian, even German people really understand the value of money because it wasn't so long ago that most German people, they're older generations, most of them are gone now, but they would remember the stories of hyperinflation. So German people really understand the value of gold as well. So I really back the 1 gram gold. Obviously there's postage costs on top of this. So what I recommend people do is see if you can save like £45 a month. Then after 3 months, put an order in at a gold retailer. The online ones are fine. I don't support any particular company, but I've used various ones in the past. Go to an online gold seller and just buy like 3 grams at once. So save up for 3 months and then buy 3 grams at once. That way it cuts down on the postage costs. Other options you have in the UK. In the UK, before 1946, I think silver coins were 50% silver, and I think before 1920 or 21, they were sterling silver, i.e. 92.5% silver. So you can buy old circulated coins, which have a silver content. In this case, I don't necessarily support this seller. I just wanted to screenshot one off eBay. Not even sure if this is a particularly good price. I haven't done the calculation. But this is 50% silver coins. And I don't know how many he's sending. He's sending 100, so you'd have to work the weights out. I did all my silver buying years ago, and I don't plan on ever selling that silver. But I bought it in this way, mostly sixpences, and a mixture between the sterling silver, the 92.5% and the 50% ones. Because the problem is with silver in the UK, if you buy new silver coins, they are subject to VAT. So in my opinion, it's a very poor investment to buy a new silver coin. So either try and buy second-hand bullion or buy circulated coins, which obviously aren't subject to VAT. So that's a very sensible way of getting into the silver game. Buy yourself a few bags of silver, because silver, again, is a really good way of trading in a barter situation, because you can just exchange a few silver sixpences, for a little bit of meat, a little bit of bread, fruit and vegetables. I'm not saying it's going to be that simple, because I think if we see a fiat monetary collapse, there's going to be full-scale mass rioting, mass civil unrest. It's not going to be an easy environment to survive through, but you're just hedging yourself by giving yourself the opportunity, a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold, something to barter with. You're just slightly increasing your odds. I think many people are going to die if the monetary system does collapse. Just look at the London riots not so long ago in London. That was basically sparked almost by nothing. Imagine how angry people are going to be if they haven't eaten for a week. Imagine how violent those the looting, the riots will be in that situation. I think we'll be seeing armed home invasions or aggregated home invasion, armed burglary, whatever. I don't even know what the proper law is in the UK. Armed burglary, I think it is, same as armed home invasion in America. It's going to be a nasty place to survive in, but if you have some silver coins, you have some gold coins, you're definitely hedging yourself from the worst of the collapse. Now, if you're saying to me, look, £116 is still too much, I can't put away £45 a week, even in Asda or other, I don't promote Asda, but this happens to be from Asda, Sainsbury's, Tesco, whichever supermarket you like in the UK, another way of doing it, which is not necessarily the best way of doing it this way, but buy something like whiskey, which, you know, doesn't go bad if you just keep it in the cupboard, or, you know, red wines. No, I wouldn't necessarily go down the road of vintage wines, because they have more of a value in a good economy. But something like basic whiskey, if we see a full-scale collapse of the monetary system, you know, you're not going to see things like whiskey on the shelves. So if you happen to have gangs in your area that are causing you problems, or, you know, things like that, if you just need to give someone as essentially a small tip, or, you know, they do you a favor, you can just give them something like a bottle of whiskey, because that's always had value. You know, whiskey has always had some value throughout history. So I think that is also another potentially sensible way to go. You know, probably have something that you don't actually like yourself, because you don't want to have it in the cupboard and then drinking your assets. Like, you know, don't get high on your own supply, I suppose, as they would say. But if you've got something like whiskey, you know, 5-6 bottles, maybe acquire these things over a period of time. You've got something like 10-20 bottles of whiskey that you've built up over a period of time. If a collapse does come, you'll be able to barter in the future against things like whiskey. So there are many different options people can do. When people say to me, look, they don't have the money to buy a full Krugerrand, or even a small Krugerrand or a gold sovereign, yes, I understand that. I'm just a normal person like everybody else. I find it very difficult to, you know, save money, but that's just a general problem in the West. We don't save enough money. So you've got many different options there. Just the 1 gram gold bars, which you save up for save £45 a month over 3 months, and buy 3 at once, and keep on doing that same process. Hopefully we've got a little bit of time before this collapse happens. There is possible time that if the central bank, if the government do the right thing, we're not necessarily going to see a full monetary collapse. But if we go down the erroneous road of trying to support more banks, more money printing, ultra low interest rates, sooner or later things will start going bad. Inflation will start kicking in. It will be stagflation. The economy won't be growing, but inflation will be picking up. This will be very bad times. Potentially, it has the potential. Hopefully this doesn't happen. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen. There's potential this could go as bad as like we're seeing in Argentina and Venezuela now, as bad as like Zimbabwe. If it just goes out of control, full-scale helicopter money printing, you know, there is the potential for that to happen. But hopefully we never get to that point. If you invest in gold now and the collapse never happens, you pass that gold on to your children, onto your grandchildren, your friends or family, or whatever you want to do. You know, it's very prudent to have some gold or assets in your possession. The other options are things like silver, especially circulated silver in the UK. You also get circulated silver in America. I don't know what years, but before a certain period, you know, the silver coins in America had silver content. I think it was 90% in America. I've got a few American quarters and stuff upstairs that are silver as well. And the final one's just stock up on things like wine and whiskey, not necessarily good quality brands, but things that can be bartered with in a collapse. Those are just my thoughts and opinions. What are you investing in? What are you putting your money into? Are you thinking we're going to be okay? Is all your assets still in pounds, or are you slightly diversifying into precious metals, into other physical assets? Just my thoughts and opinions today. Jason from Liberty Bunkers signing off, and I'll see you in the next video.